Greetings, YouTube. The Doctor is in. Dr. Urias Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons and Dragons. And welcome back to the channel that takes power gaming to the next level. We are today going to be talking about our newest magic item review, which is Amulet of the Devout. Yet it is another uncommon, rare, very rare item for Clerics and Paladins. So we're going to be talking about all three at the same time because they basically all do the same thing, except the bonus is different for each rarity. So it is a wondrous item that requires attunement by a cleric or a paladin, and it does obviously require attunement if only paladins and clerics can attune to it. The amulet bears the symbol of a deity inlaid with precious stones and metals. While you wear the holy symbol, you gain a bonus to spell attack rolls and saving throw DCs of your spells equal to the table below. The bonus is determined by the amulet's rarity, so we've either got a +1, a +2, or +3. These kinds of items are almost necessary for these classes. Before Tasha's Cauldron of Everything came out, this item was not available for clerics or paladins. So clerics and paladins did not have a way to get a bonus to attack rolls for their spells or to add to the DCs of their spells. Very few items did that before Tasha's and a few of the other books, but there were some, and this is not one of them. So this came out in Tasha's. They kind of rounded out all the classes and included this in it. Now, each one of these items also has an extra thing that they do, and the thing this one does that's extra other than the +1 to hit, +2 to hit, +3 to hit, and then the +1 to DCs, which that's a big deal, by the way. Let me just say that bonus to the DCs of the saving throws of your spells is a huge deal. That is a big, giant, massive deal, because there are many spells in 5th edition and beyond that can shut combats down almost completely with one go, with one failed save. So it's really important to understand the importance of the saving throw DCs. So the other thing that this can do is while you wear this amulet, you can use your Channel Divinity feature without expending one of the feature's uses. Once this property is used, it can't be used again until the next dawn. So it's kind of like a free Channel Divinity per day, which also is awesome. By the way, I am giving this item an A+, because it does add to the DCs of those spells. It adds to spell attack rolls, which is really important. Not so much as the DCs to the spell saving throws, but also because it gives you an extra use of Channel Divinity, which is really important as well. Now, as far as buying and selling these items, I always go to this little magic item price table that's in Xanthar's Guide to Everything under buying a magic item in downtime. So we've got an uncommon, you could do it randomly and just roll a d6 and multiply by 100, or you could just take the average. These are kind of top shelf, top end items. So I like to say that instead of an average or rolling a d6, that these are going to be 500 or 600 gold pieces. And then the rare one is going to be 2d10 times 1,000. So again, instead of just saying the average or just rolling, I just say these are somewhere between 15 and 20,000, and then the very rare, which is the +3, is 1d4 plus 1 times 10,000, and I almost always say these are like 40 or 50,000. So they can get very pricey. Now, clerics get an extra use of their Channel Divinity. Now, the DC increase here on an Amulet of the Devout only is for spells, not the Channel Divinity. So you have to remember that. But you got this ability to turn undead. So at 2nd level, you gain the Channel Ability. When you use it, you choose the effect, and then you must finish a short or long rest to use it again. And then at a later level, you get 2 uses of this. Beginning at 6th level, you can use your Channel Divinity twice per rest, and at 18th level, you can use it 3 times. So clerics can use it quite a bit. They got the Turn Undead ability, which is changing in D&D 2024. They get the Destroy Undead, which is changing in D&D 2024. And then, depending on your domain, each domain has a different use of Channel Divinity. So if we look at Arcana domain, it's Arcane Abjuration. So you present it, and then a celestial, elemental, fey, or fiend within 30 feet has to make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, it's turned for 1 minute. A turn creature then has to move, blah, blah, blah. So after you reach 5th level, when a creature fails its saving throw against your arcane abjuration, the creature is banished for 1 minute. If it isn't on its plane of origin and its challenge rating is at or below a certain threshold. So instead of just destroying it outright, you just banish it. Death Domain has Touch of Death. Forge Domain has Artisan's Blessing. Grave Domain has Path to the Grave, which is actually pretty good. The next time you or an ally hits the creature with an attack, the creature has vulnerability to all damage. Knowledge Domain, Read Thoughts, and Knowledge of the Ages. Life Domain is Preserve Life. There's all kinds of good ones. And like Trickery Domain is one of my favorite ones. It has Invoke Duplicity. Tempest Domain has Destructive Wrath, which does extra damage with lightning and thunder. So the extra use of this Channel Divinity is really important for that. Now for spells, a lot of the cantrips that do damage for clerics are saving throw ones. Sacred Flame is a saving throw one. Toll the Dead is a saving throw one. That's basically it. It's Sacred Flame and Toll the Dead, and they either save or they don't. And if they save, they don't take any damage. If they don't save, they take damage. So you want to have that as high as you could possibly go. Things like Bane are awesome. You know, a fail to that one causes them to take a subtraction for a minute with concentration. Guiding Bolt, being able to hit with Guiding Bolt is really important. You don't want to waste a first level spell. Things like, not necessarily inflict wounds, but blindness, deafness is a really good one. Hold Person is an awesome one. That's just awesome, no matter what. And then we get into things like Spiritual Weapon. So make a melee spell attack. Bonus to spell attack rolls. So every round, you're going to get a bonus to hit with the Spiritual Weapon, which is awesome. That's just great. Bestow Curse is a good one. There's just a number of things. Now, for the Paladin, Paladins also get Channel Divinity, which you'd get an extra use of. And this is finished when they only get one use and they get it back on a short or long rest. So you'd get an extra one per day. And again, it is tied a lot to the Paladin's oath. So, for instance, Oath of Conquest gets Conquering Presence. Oath of Devotion gets Sacred Weapon. My favorite, Oath of Vengeance, gets Abjure Enemies. So you would get 2 Abjure enemies per day. Vow of Enmity is another great one. So as an action, you utter a vow of enmity against creatures within 10 feet. You gain advantage on attack rolls against that creature for 1 minute. So instead of having to wait for an hour, you could use this twice and then just go from there, and then have to wait an hour for a third use for this. So a lot of awesome options for this. Lots of awesome options for this item. Spells for the Paladin. Not so much. We've got things like Compelled Duel, which has a saving throw. Not a lot of spell attack rolls. We do have a lot of these Smite type of spells, which do require some saving throws. So those are good. Searing Smite, Thunderous Smite, Wrathful Smite, Branding Smite. So this would add to the, if they required some kind of saving throw, this would add to those saving throws. Now, Paladins aren't great with spells. They've got some spells. They're half casters. So, like you're not going to be getting a 3rd level spell until 9th level. But Blinding Smite, great spell, but it's a con save. So you do want to increase the DC of that. So this item is particularly needed, and it is awesome for Clerics and Paladins. I am hoping that it makes its way into D&D 2024, but of course we won't know until the new Dungeon Master guide comes out, or if it's not in it, then it's still here. We've been told already in a couple videos that if it's an item that's not in the new books, it still exists and it's in these books until they decide to reprint something. So, all right, that's what I got for today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.